Hello, welcome back in Egyptian Academy. In the last video, you learned about the MySQL commands, how to create the table, how to insert the record, how to update it, and how to perform the select command. Today I am going to discontinue that topic with the creating tables, but today we are going to discuss about SQL constraints. Okay, what is constraint and what is the importance of constraint? These things you have to know. The constraint means condition, rules, whatever you have to be apply on the column to validate the data. Suppose you want to provide some limit, you want to control the users while they are entering the name, while they are entering the roll number, while they are entering the marks of the different subjects. You want to apply the some conditions on the field, on the columns of a table, and for that purpose we have a constraint. So what the syntax of the constraints, you must be know about this syntax. Syntax means the criteria, the way you have to write the command, the create table command with the table name, and then you have to mention the name of the column with their data type and size, and after this size you have to mention the column constraint, like the different types of the constraint I'll just discuss. Then the next column, their data type, size, and with their constraint, and at last you can put the table constraints also. Now you have one doubt here, because I have mentioned the column constraint here as well as I have mentioned here table constraint. So definitely you have to understand what is the column and what is the table. There are actually two types of the constraint. One is called column constraint and another is called table constraint. The column constraints means which you can use to apply on a column, on a single column. If you want to apply a constraint on a single column, for that point of view you have to use the column constraint. But if you want to apply the same constraint on the multiple columns, in that case you can use the concept of the table constraint. Table constraint is used to apply the same constraint on the multiple columns, like this way. At the declarations of the all columns, at the end you have to first write down the name of the constraint, and then you have to write down the column names on which column you want to apply this constraint. Now you understand what is the constraint and how many types of the constraint. The two things you understand, and how you will create it, how you will write it with the create table command. Now you have to understand, okay, what are the different types of the constraint is available in SQL. Actually in SQL there are 6 types of the constraint. The first constraint, that is called not null. The second constraint, that is called default. The third constraint, that is unique. Fourth check. Fifth primary key, and the last is the foreign key. So first you are going to understand what is the meaning of the not null. We all know that the null means the legal empty value in MySQL. So not null constraint insists or ensure that no one will enter null value in that particular column. Default is ensure if the no one is giving the none value for a particular column, in that case that column can be filled with a default value, with a value which is specified at the time of the table creation. Unique, it's ensure that all the values entered in that column must be unique. It means that no duplicate value is allowed in that particular column. If you have declared that the column constraint for that particular column is unique, it means you are not supposed to enter duplicate value, means same value in that. You all know the MySQL is not a case sensitive, so you don't think you will write the name in an uppercase and lowercase and the SQL will make a difference in between them. Sorry to say, but it is not possible there. The next, and one more thing you will remember, that unique constraint allow null value but does not allow duplicate value. The next is the check constraint. The check constraint is used to ensure that the value given in a particular column is according to the condition, is according to the specified value. Means suppose you want to decide that this particular column does not contain this less than 20 and greater than 100, such types of condition if you want to give, and for that point of view you can use the check constraint. The next is the primary key. So what is the primary key? Primary key constraints means you can define a column as a primary key, and it means that column can be used to uniquely identify the record in a table. And while you are inserting, while you are assigning a primary key constraint to a column, it means that that column value must be unique and cannot contain null value. So unique plus not null is equal to primary key. Okay, means if anybody can ask you what is the difference between primary key and unique, you can say that primary key is allow unique value as well as does not allow null value, while unique allow unique value only, but null can be allowed and duplicated also. What is the foreign key here? Foreign key is a very interesting and a very useful constraint of the MySQL, because with the help of foreign key column you can make a relationship in between two or more than two tables. On the basis of foreign key, you can establish, you can indicate, you can remove the complexities of the columns tables also. So it is a non-key attribute that is used to establish relationship in between two tables, and as well as it ensure the referential integrity. What do you mean by the referential integrity? It is a criteria or conditions applied by the database, applied by the MySQL to the database to ensure that no one will delete the records accidentally, no one will change the record accidentally if the related records is existing somewhere else. Okay, so this is about the theory, but I'm not going to consume your time with the theory only. I'll show you practically these things, and for the practical point of view, I have to start the MySQL, and I've already started MySQL. This is the my MySQL workbench. So now I'm going to show every commands here. If you want command prompt, I can give you the command also, but here right now I'll show you with the help of these options. So I'm started this here, MySQL. Okay, so look at this instance. First I'm going to start the MySQL. It's asked to enter the password. I've entered the password here, so password given here. Now it's going to start the editor for me, and at this place I can insert my all commands, and this will show the output of the all commands here. So are you ready for this? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so now first I'm going to show the database, because first I have to use show the database, and now I'm going to execute this command. So I'll just click on this, and it's asking there is some problem in this, expression is false. I'll just show retry. What's the problem? I don't know. Show database, it's showing the output, but where is the output? I don't know. There is some problem with this. Okay, no problem. I have already started this MySQL here, so I'll go to show you everything here only. Show databases, no problem. This is maybe creating some problem there. It's okay. So database is showing here. I'm going to increase the font size of this. Let's see. Okay, it's going to increase the font size so that it's readable for you and you can easily know it's not working. Yeah, it's working. Very good. So now the my size is increased here. So look at this. So now I'm going to first give the some command. I have to use the database, so I'm using the my database use SQL. I'll show you which database I have to. For that I told you for that there is a git command, select database, and it will show the current working database name. Because I'm using a school, so it's showing that school here. Now I'm going to create a table. First I'll show you the list of the tables which is available in this. There is only two tables are here. So okay, I'm going to create a table first. So first I'm going to create a table, and the name of the table I'm going to create table employee. I'm going to create a table with the test name only, because I'm going to do and show you some research. First I'm going to show you how to use the not null constraint. So I'm creating a one table here in a test ID integer, and instead of anything I'm writing not null here, and then name equal to varchar, and I'm giving here 20. Only this much call table I'm going to create. So my table is created. I'll show you the show tables command, and with the help of show tables you can get it. The test1 is created here. Now I'm going to make a query, select star from test1. I'm writing this, and semicolon is giving, and now it's a sorry, there is an error in this command, and the error is that I forget to use the from with the this command. So select a star, and it's showing the empty set here, means no rows is there. So now I'm going to up this screen so that we will see the everything properly. So first I'm going to discuss about you the not null, as I'll show you describe test1. I'll show you the structure of the table, and now you can look at here properly the field id data type int 11, because I have not mentioned the any size at the time of the creating the table, at the time of the writing the field. So the default size, it's the 11 for the integer. Look at this null, it's written no here. The default value is null, but the null is not allowed. But in case of the name, the null is allowed. So now I'm going to insert a record, insert into, and the table name is test1. The table name is test1, and the values I'm going to insert one unzip, and I've closed this, and look at this, the record inserted. I'll show you the select command, and look at this, one record is inserted. But this time I'm going to insert the record in something different ways. I'm writing here the column name id, and I'm not going to give anything for the name. I'll just write 2 only, and insert query executed here. Okay, query executed here. Now I'll show you, select star from test. Look at this, what happened here in the name. I'll show you describe as test1, describe test1, and you can see here default is null for the name. So when I'm inserting a record, when I insert the record with the help of this command, what happened, I mentioned the only one column name id here, and so I'll given the value for the id only. I was not given a value for the name. So in this case the name value is by default null. So I think you understand these things. Okay, this is the default null means what? If you are giving nothing, it will keep the null value. Now I'm going to create the another table, and now I'll try to insert the record, but this time I'm, instead of writing id, instead of writing any column names, I'm going to write here null comma, and I'm writing here name. And now you will see what's happened. There is a syntax error in this. This command is having error because I'm not giving the space. Now look at here, column id cannot be null. Column id cannot be null means you assign the not null constraint here, so that's why it's not allowed you to give the null value in this column. Okay, move on the next. Now we are going to use the another command, insert into test1, and again this time I'm mentioning the name only and then values, and I'm trying to give in this way. So look at this, again I'll get the same error, field id does not have a default value, so that's why it will not work here. Okay, so this you understand what is the meaning of not null. Now I'm going to tell you how we can use the default constants here. My second constraint is the default. So I'm going to discuss about the default, how you can use the default here. So look at this default. I'll tell you how you can use the default here. So now move over this. Okay, so now this time I'm going to use create table, the another table which name is the test2. Again I'm giving id int, and again I'm writing here nothing I'm going to write there here, but the name char 20, and this time I'm writing here default sing. What I've given? Default sing. And I want to write the ID int and their default also I want to give default 0. What I've given here, default 0, and what you have given here, default sync. So table created here. Now I'm first show you the table test2, describe test2, and look at this. The what is the default value, this 0, and what is the default value, this sync. So now I'm going to write the command insert into test2 and in values, and I'm writing giving nothing in this command. And look at this, the table, look at this, you please be careful. In this time in a values I have written nothing, I have written nothing but the record inserted. Now I'm showing select a star from test2, and just you look at this, what the value of ID, that is 0, and what the value of name, that is sync. Why? Because I have given the default value for the both column, and integer is having 0 and the name is having sync. Again I'm writing the one command insert into. Might be you thinking that you have, if you specify any value then it will create an error message. No, it will not create any error message. I'm writing here unziv, okay, and then you look at this, again the record is inserted, and now look at this, the second record 1 unziv is inserted. If I'm going to mention, if I'm going to give this command, and here I'm writing only ID, and I'll mention the only ID here, but I'll not going to mention the any name here, then what happened in this case, look at this, again the record is inserted successfully, and look what is the name of this ID2, sync. Why? Because the default value of name is given as a sync there. Okay, and if I'm going to do the same thing, and but this time instead of ID I'm giving name here, and the name I'm writing here Amrit. Okay, I'm writing here Amrit, and close this, and then I'm putting this command, and look at this, again it's showing the record inserted with the default value of ID. Now I hope you understand how can use the not null, how can use the default. Next I'm going to show you the unique command, how can use the unique constraint. So again I'm going to create a table. First I'll show you the show tables. In this table there is no test3 table, so I'm going to create a table, and the name of the table is the test3, and this time again I'm creating ID int, and I'm writing here constraint unique. I'm writing here constraint unique name, and name I'm giving here varchar 20, as well as I'm going to write here on another column salary, and this column is the salary, and the data type I'm giving here decimal. I'm writing here 10,2, as well as I'm going to use check cell greater than 1000. What I've written, cell greater than 1000. There is an error in this, so I have to write in this way. Okay, the whole command I have to write again, and there is a problem is this, I have to put in this way. So look at this, the query okay, because check is the constant, so the constant I have to mention inside the parenthesis, and this mistake made by me in the previous command, so you please be careful while you're writing. Now I'm going to show the structure of test3 table, and look at the structures. What is this? This is the unique constraint. Null is allowed, but the key is the unique. Default value is null, default value is null, default value is null for everyone. So now I'm going to insert a command, insert into, and the database name, table name is the test3, and values I'm writing here 1 comma sync. Okay, and then I'm writing here the value salary 45,002, and I'm closing this, record inserted here. Now I'm going to show the records which are inserted. Select a star from test3, and you will see the record is entered. It's a proper way, in a proper way. Now I'm going to use the concept of the unique here. Again I'm going to insert another record, Mr. Z Academy. I'm going to write here 1 Academy, and the salary I'm going to write here 5800. Okay, 00, and then I try to enter the record. The error message you will get here, and what is the error? Duplicate entry 1 for key ID. Why this error is here? The reason behind this, the ID is having the unique constraint. It means you are not supposed to enter the duplicate value for the ID. Okay, now I'll show you can I insert the null value for ID. So I'll try to insert the record, and this time I'm going to give the value for the only two column, test3 name comma cell, or I'll try to insert and I'm going to write here values null comma, and then I'm writing here unzip, and then I'm writing here 1000 1500 here, and this way, and then I'm trying to insert the record inserted, select star from test3, and you will see the output, the record inserted here. Again I'm trying to insert the another record, with the null value only, and this time I'm writing here the another name Tanmay, and the same salary, doesn't matter what the salary is there. Again record is inserted and you show. So two null value is allowed. The ID is having unique constraint, but I am giving the two null value here, and this is the duplicate. No, MySQL ignore in this case. Whenever you are defined the constraint as a unique, in this case MySQL ignore the null value for the unique constraint. But whenever you enter the value, it start comparing, it start checking is the same value is existing in the table. If it is yes, then definitely it will stop you. It will warn you you are not supposed to enter the value. Okay, so that is about the unique. Now we are going to use the check constraints. We have given the constraint there. So now I'm trying to insert a record with a ID 3, and I'm writing here name Mohit, and I've given the sal conditions ki salary must be greater than 1000. So I'm giving here 1 rupees here, inserting the record, and I'll getting an error message. What the error? Acha, this is error due to not given the comma properly. That's why I got the error message. So now I'm checking this command, and sorry, I have to give, and the record is inserted. The SQL is having one drawback, and that drawback, the SQL does not check the check constraint in proper way. You can define the check constraint, but SQL does not, because as you show that what the constraint I have given on that time while I'm creating the record table test3. So look at this, sal must be greater than 1000. I have written here condition sal must be greater than 1000. This condition I have written while creating the test table, but it does not check it in proper way. So that's problem happen with the check constraint, but that this way only you can apply the check constraint. Okay, so this is about the, now you are able to understand what is the not null, what is the default, what is the unique, how can you use the check constraint. So today now I'm going to discuss about the primary key and foreign key. This is a very interesting fact, and this is a very interesting, so you please be careful while you are using. Pay your full attention in this video. Don't try to look here and there, and please keep notes while you are watching the video. It's a compulsory for you, always keep notes for that. Okay, so now I'm going to create a table. I'm going to create a table, and this is the test. I'm creating a table employee. Okay, and no, first I'm going to create a table department. Okay, and here I'm going to department ID integer, and this is the primary key. Next, department name varchar. Okay, and 20 size is there, and close the table. This is 10, query 10. Okay, now I'm going to insert the some record. Insert into department. I'm going to give an department number 101. I'm writing here computer science. Okay, this is the computer science department. There is a problem in this because I forget to use the values command, values clause with the insert into, and that's why I'm getting the error message. So be careful. Now this time I'm giving the department is the math. Okay, now I'm inserting the another department, and this department is a science. So I have 3 records. Now I'll try to insert one more record with the same department code, and it's showing an error message, duplicate entry 103 for primary key. Now this is the error here. Now another error I'm going to show you. I'll try to insert the null value here, and it's showing the error, column did cannot be null. So the 2 errors you will get here because of the primary key setting. You have set the column is the primary key, so you are not supposed to give the null value, you are not supposed to give the duplicate value. That you understand. Okay, very good. Now I'll show you how to use the foreign key constraint. So department table I have. Now I'm going to create the another table, create table emp with the eid integer and it is 5 digits long, ename employee name, this is the varchar, this is the varchar 20, and now department id I want to create here, and the department id is also integer type, and again I'll go to write these all things in the down, and one thing I have to do here, I'm going to create an error message here. Okay, no problem. So create table emp, and now eid integer 5 and primary key. Okay, now I'll show you how to use the foreign key constraint. Eid int 5 primary key and name ename varchar 20, and not null means null value you are not supposed to give, and then I'm writing here department id, and it is the integer. Now I'll go to create the foreign key. So I'm writing here foreign foreign key, and which column I want to make the foreign key? I want to make the did as a foreign key. Now I'm writing here references. What I'm writing? References, and then I'm giving the name of the table department, name of the means foreign key. It means that I'm going to make the did as a foreign key here of this call table, but this dids get referenced, get linked with the department did and semicolon. So table created successfully. Now I'm going to show you describe department first, and then I'll show you describe emp second, and you can look at here what is the meaning of this. This is the multiple table link. So whenever you set the foreign key, you will see this as a key. This is the primary key, so pri here, but this is the foreign key, so mul there. Now I'll show you the select. I'll show you the so many things. You please select a star from department. Pay attention in the foreign key. Select a star from department, and look at this. The 3 departments are there. Now I'm going to insert the command insert into emp, and I'm going to write here values, and I'm going to give the id 451. This is the employee id. I'm going to write here name Mohit, and now I'm going to give a department here 101. No problem here, it's a working fine. Again I'm inserting the another record. The employee id is 52522, and this time I'm giving here Sumit. Okay, and the employee code is I'm giving 104, and suddenly I got an error message, cannot add or update a child row. Why this is called child row? You try to understand here. 2 tables are created by me. One is the department, another the employee. So department tables a column in a department table, that name is the DID, that is the primary key in the department table. So department table is called parent table, or this is called the primary table, and this is called the master table. And employee is a table when its DID is a foreign key which get related with the department. So employee table is known as the child table, okay, or reference table or derived table you can say. So now the cannot add or update a child row. A foreign key constraint fails school employee constraint in this foreign key. This is the name given by this by default name references def DID. Means it's saying that why this error is there. This error is due to this 104. As you observe that this 104 is not available, there is no record for the 104, and you try to give a department ID to Mr. Sumit as a 104, and that 104 is not existing in a primary table. So now again I am going to recall your definition of the foreign key. What is foreign key? The definition of the foreign key, a non-key attribute which value is derived from the primary key of other table. So this definition you have to remember, you have to learn always. Okay, what is the meaning of the foreign key? A non-key attribute whose value is derived from the primary key of other table. So if value is derived from the primary key of the other table, so what is the meaning of this? It means that in a primary table, whatever the values is given that particular column, that becomes the domain for that foreign key column. Means from this set of values you can choose any one value there. Okay, so now again I'm trying to insert, and this time again I'm going to give the department ID 101, and now I'll show the select star from EMP, and the another difference you have to find it here. This department ID is a foreign key in employee table, so 101 is here also and here also. Look at this. This is the 101 and this is the 101, and this SQL does not create any error message. What is the meaning of this? It means that multiple rows can have same foreign key value. Means Mohit and Sumit both is working in computer science department. What is the problem? More than one people can work. Okay, so duplication in the foreign key allowed, but duplication in the primary key does not allowed. Got it my point? Okay, now you all know this. Now I'm going to insert some more record, and this time department ID is 555 and name is Suman. Okay, and this department ID is 3 is a scripting. Now I'm going to insert the one more record. Okay, now I'll show you the record first. Select a star from this now and select a star from department. So now there is a one problem. I'll try to delete the records science. I want to delete a record from the department table. So I'm writing here delete from department where DID is equal to 103. Look at this carefully. What happened? Cannot delete or update a parent row. Cannot delete or update a parent row. Remember two things here. Delete or update. Which row? Parent row. Why parent? Because department is the parent table and employee is a child table. Okay, so you cannot delete or update. Okay, now I'll try to another command. Update department set DID is equal to 104 where DID is equal to 103. Okay, look at this. Again I'm getting the same error message. Look, this command I have written here. And what the output? This command I try to delete the record, I'll get the error message. Now I try to update the record, I'll get the error message. Okay, very good. Now I'm using the same command, but this time in place of 103 I'm writing here 102 and no error message. It's a surprising to you, but don't be surprised. I explain why there is no error message and why on that time the error message. Again I'll show you the record. Select the star from department, select a star from EMP. Now you start comparing why in case of the 102 you will not get the error message, and why SQL is giving an error message when you are trying to update the record 103. This is the 102. This is the 102, the record updated here, it's become the 104. Look at this, there is a no rows in an employee table with department ID is 102. And that's why this allowed you to update, and this is called referential integrity. This is called referential integrity. Are you getting me? Yes, this is called referential integrity. Referential integrity is a rule or conditions which apply on a table to ensure that no one will delete or update the records by accidentally or purposefully. That is called referential integrity, and that is the advantage of the foreign key constraint. Okay, now for the today this much is over. In the next video I will discuss about something more interesting fact about the foreign key. So don't forget to watch. If you like this video, if you learn something from this video, don't forget to share the video, don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.